going to stay on the ground level because this is very important.
Yep.
The number one word that a marketer hates to hear but has to hear all the time is compliance, right?
Yeah.
It's not, and I worked at Comcast, I worked at Dish and Sling.
Yeah.
These are highly regulated industries where compliance isn't a checkbox.
No.
It's a mandatory.
Yes.
In fact, to get through the hoops, to get a vendor on, you have to go through IT risk and security.
Oh yeah, InfoSec, everything. Yeah.
You have to do all of that.
Yeah.
And you know, when you guys are talking about text, which you know I talked to your team about when we implemented text at Sling, TCPA, that's
a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
In Canada, it's even more stringent. So yeah, we get that.
Yeah. So okay. So set the record straight. I hear you guys. You know, heard stories. Wunderkind's fast and loose with compliance, fast and loose with customer data. You know, they're great on performance, but just don't worry about the other stuff. So set the record straight for me, Tim.
Yeah. Look, I think what you're probably alluding to is in the past we've had some competitors, we've had some agencies, we've had some FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, doubt thrown out there, whether they thought it was true or not. Here, we're level set. And we dealt with this in 2024, and we took our compliance. We have a blog out there. It's on our website. We take compliance incredibly, it's critical. This is why we don't do business in some countries, in some regions of the globe, because we may not be compliant there, right? Or we're not yet fully compliant. But where we do business, Europe, UK, and America for sure, GDPR, GDPRA, CCPA, all that stuff, we're completely compliant. The other thing I want to clear up, there are services out there that might claim to be similar to Wunderkind's, right? And we're all kind of in this like identity resolution and triggered messaging bucket. Let's just use those as the buckets. There are those out there that will sell you their client A's mailing list to client B, right?
Yep.
So if you own a business, you've got a list, you bring it in, and all of a sudden now it's this giant, I'm gonna use the word, it's an orgy. Everybody's sharing their data, and some of that can be very borderline, if not flat out illegal. It's definitely on the fringe. And I've worked in B2C, some large global brands, both you and I have talked about this before. You do not want your audience ending up in your competitor's bin. And you don't necessarily want has-beens and secondhand rate data from someone else. Wunderkind has never, will never, ever take our client's data and give it to another client. We do not do that. The only thing that we do is we look at your own first-party data that stays in your own repositories. We don't even take it and put it in our servers. We literally look at your repository. If it's in your ESP, if it's in your CDP, wherever it is, you give us access, we look at that. Our identity graph, because we can understand devices. Now, I can't tell you, let's say, for example, I go to your website. You don't know who I am and I'm not opted into marketing. Well, Wunderkind knows who I am because they've seen me. They know my devices. They know who I am. They have my emails and my mobile number. We can't tell you that, oh yeah, Tim's on your site, unless we have verified that Tim is actually currently, today, right now in the moment, opted into your database. Let me be very clear about that. There are companies out there who will literally tell you, oh, Tim Glomb's on your site. Here's his email. You should take it and email him. With zero opt-in, that is zero compliance. That's a bad thing. We've never done it. We've been accused of doing it. We've never done it. And if you look at our client list, these are clients that don't want to be in that business. So when it comes to compliance, we want to be very, very clear. We use your data. Now, we'll help you acquire more. Now, if we know Tim is on your site and he's not in your website, in your opted-in mailing list, whatever it is, we'll know something about Tim and we'll help get him acquired in, right? The right pop-up at the right time with the right offer, we can help you convert Tim in, and that's how we build your first-party databases based on the knowledge we have around unknown, truly unknown people to you. But as far as compliance goes, we bid every test. I don't think we've ever lost a deal because we weren't compliant. And we deal with some of the largest companies on the planet with this. I mean, we churn $5 billion. We create $5 billion in revenue value per year. You can't do that by not being compliant with some of the large companies that we're doing business with. So that's my answer to that one.
Yeah, and I'll say from experience at Comcast and at Dish and Sling, the competition thing was big, not just from InfoSec. As marketers, we're like, if that's going to happen, non-starter. And you guys passed all those tests with flying colors. So
and look, we get it. Smaller businesses down funnel don't have a lot of funding. They're just fighting to be alive to even see if they can get to their second stage of a company. They're probably going with competitors who are buying and selling and sharing email addresses. Hey, if that's your thing, great. But when you get to a point where compliance is actually important and you actually want to build true relationships rather than just spam somebody because you got their email from your identity resolution partner, come talk to us if you want to do it the right way, the way that actually builds long-lasting relationships that turn into customer lifetime value, to actually have meaning. Come talk to us.